on, guys? So this video is going to be on some cheap stuff from Banggood. Some random things, some stuff I got, some stuff Christina picked out, and I'm going to talk about it real quick. Just some brief, quick reviews on these things. So first off, this coin book. I actually got two of these. These are just super cheap. I just wanted more options for, you know, storing different types of coins. As I mentioned in a previous video, besides silver coins, I'm going to start collecting some, you know, random currency I like. I have a ton of currency from all around the world, so I just wanted to have a couple different books so I can do separate things, like maybe just keep one country in here or one style of coin or something like that. Does work totally fine. It's the same style as most of them, where there's individual pockets here with little, you know, flaps to keep the coin from falling out. You can see this super clear. But anyway, yeah, totally works, and it's super cheap, but it does stink. It just smells like super cheap plastic. So if that smell bothers you, I wouldn't bother. But if you're looking for a cheap option for storing coins, that certainly works. So I'm happy with that. As far as Christina, she picked out these things. Lord of the Rings ring, which is random. But yeah, this one is a size 7. It is actually a size 7. Sometimes when you're ordering things from overseas, you never know what you're going to get. But, you know, it's got the little Lord of the Rings scroll on there. It's on the inside, too. But, yeah, super cheap ring. Probably aluminum or something. It's got a gold, who knows what, coating. But, yeah, that's a thing. She also got some cards. These she was disappointed with. These are supposed to be gold foil. But this came with, like, tape wrapped around it because the package doesn't close very well. And the tape actually peeled off a little bit of the gold on the outside. But anyway, super stiff, like plasticky case here. The cards are pretty cool. I'm not sure if they're actual foil or if some kind of coating. They are plastic cards, so it should be waterproof. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. Something different. A little certificate for the gold. Says certificate gold in foil. Doesn't mean, there's actually nothing here that says that it's real gold or not. Obviously it's just a colored, you know, gold colored foil. It's funny because usually like decks of cards like this, to have like 24 karat you know, foil on it will say, you know, the purity, but obviously this doesn't have anything like that on there. It does say USA with the flags, so it's pretty cool. Like I said, just kind of a little disappointment. Kind of fun still, but definitely not as expected. Next thing she got was some magic cards. So, you know, these are Chinese characters, says something along the lines of magic and trick cards, something like that. But basically this has different length cards, so you can do some different magic tricks with it. I believe there is instructions here, which you can actually use a Google Translator on the phone to read if you don't read Chinese, like neither one of us do. But if you flip these one way, they're only red suits, right? But if you flip it another way, they're only black, right? So all black. You do your blah 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 trick, and then it's all red. So interesting, pretty cool. I like the Chinese characters. Just again, something totally different. But anyway, so that was for her, and these two things were for me. This is what I picked, and this is a cheap clock, a super cheap clock. But if you notice, it's pretty thick here. And that's because this is one of those clock safes. All right, so when we open it up, you can see there's a bunch of money in here, right? So I got this specifically to throw off any kind of would-be robbers. You know, anyone who's gonna break into my house trying to steal some stuff, maybe this will throw them off a little bit. It's kind of obvious that it's fat, so if you're like a crook or a criminal and you know to look for things like this would probably catch your eye. And in my case, I'm hoping that it'll catch someone's eye if they happen to break in. And they're gonna think like, oh wow, jackpot. Open this up, see all the money in here, and focus some attention on this. But the joke here is that this is actually not real money. This is also sold by Banggood. I just put them in rolls. They don't come like this. They actually come in, they're totally flat and banded, but I roughed it up a little bit and put them in rolls so it look more convincing. But as you can see here, there's Chinese characters on the front as well as the back. And again, this says something along the lines of not legal tender, which is funny because it's right above the English version that says it is legal tender. But then also there's these black markings in both corners. All right, of course, doesn't feel like real money. As we all know, real money is a specific type of fabric. It's not even paper, it's a type of fabric, I think, technically. And then, of course, there's no security watermarks in this or anything. This is just double-sided printed, you know, fake money. It's play money, essentially. This is for training purposes. If you, I don't know, work at a bank and you want to train an employee or something, or if you just want to give it to your kids to play around with, you know, but definitely do not try to spend this. That would be illegal. This is not counterfeit money because there's clearly markings on here. Although it's in Chinese, you know, there are markings to show that it's not real money. All right, but definitely convincing enough, I would say, for a thief that's trying to get in and out of a house quickly. So if you guys don't know, I've actually talked about this before, but I have a real safe, you know, an actual kind of expensive safe in my house, and it has nothing in it. Actually has a note to a possible thief. And the idea behind that is they're going to focus all their attention on that to try to get it out of the house and hopefully end up with nothing, as opposed to really looking around. And half of my real valuables aren't even in my home anyway, so it's just what I do. I actually go out of my way to try to make it seem easy to rob, but you know, the idea is reverse psychology. I actually have a electronic doorknob, a very expensive electronic doorknob to one of my rooms in my house that has nothing in it. So these are all supposed to be distractions for someone who is going to break in. It would look like, yeah, I got all this cool, expensive stuff, but I don't. So anyway, I thought that was very, very interesting. Like I said, I mean, just some random stuff. You know, I've always looked on Banggood and other international sites for super cheap knives. A lot of times they do have like knife clones and stuff, and that's where they get most of their popularity, I think, at least in this community, the gear community. People getting those cheap knives, but they have all kinds of stuff, all kinds of electronics. I actually got a power bank from one of the companies recently, and it's actually really, really good. But, you know, it's hit and miss with all these products. I would say this, though, this clock, if you wanted to use this for a real, you know, clock, this doesn't actually close properly with these rolls in the middle here because we have the guts of the clock there. So I take these two rolls out and actually snap shut, all right? So it just kind of pops open and pops shut. There's no lock on it or anything. It's supposed to be easy to get to. I do have this on the wall. I took it off for this video purpose, but this is actually hanging in my house. Looks like a normal clock, but it's also in a position in my house where you can see the side of it. All right, so you can see that it's thicker like that and it wouldn't make sense. So for an average person, if you really wanted to get one of these to hide money, or hide treasures or your valuables, whatever, it would work as a safe, a hidden safe. But I would definitely recommend having it on a wall that you cannot see the side of it. You know what I mean? So if it's in a room, just a regular square room, have it on a back wall or something, so you kind of see it from a distance and you're not going to get that profile to realize that it's fat. The actual clock portion is super, super cheap. When I got this, for some reason, most of these companies overseas, they'll send stuff in these like soft packages. I don't know why, maybe it's cheaper, but when you have something like this that could be easily broken, you really should ship it in an actual box. But this did not come in a box. It came with like a very thin layer of foam on it. I mean, the actual clock came in a cardboard box, but it was crushed. It was super thin cardboard. And then it was in like a soft packaging. So this is coming from a different country, essentially, or at least, most of the stuff does. Sometimes they have US warehouses that ship from. But it came totally beat up. And the pin that actually connects this hinge was like half out. So this was all floppy. I had to fix that. The clock portion of it didn't work at first. The second hand just kind of ticked in place. So I had to actually just, pop the plastic cover off here and push that down so it's nice and tight, so it actually started working. Now it's functional, but it's an issue I have with shipping, and it kind of goes across the board with all these different companies. The packaging is usually horrible. Like I said, when you have something that could easily be broken, like this cheap plastic clock, it should not be shipped in a soft package. It should be shipped in a cardboard box. But anyway, that's nor here or there. So overall, pretty much as expected. This particular item is super cool, and the fake money is very cool as well because I'm going to use this in my other safe. So, I mean, immediately you might not notice, especially if you're trying to rob someone, you're not kind of inspecting the money. You just think, wow, all right, cool, I found all their money. Ha ha ha, I'm rich now. That's why I'm here to rob you. And of course, once you get back to your vehicle, your house, whatever, and you start going through the money, you realize it's fake. All right, and then the actual homeowner wins. So yeah, that's just some random stuff from Banggood. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any feedback, let me know down below what you think. If you have some hidden safes, there's a lot of different hidden safes on the market. I've seen ones with fake outlets, like, you know, a wall outlet, like you're gonna plug something in. It's totally fake. You just unscrew the center and it kind of hinges out. Obviously book safes, everyone knows that, you know, little fake books that open up. Sometimes they have a, you know, an actual metal box inside that's locked. I mean, the sky's the limit. There's a bunch of different ways to hide your valuables. But I thought this was a pretty cool idea. I've always wanted one of these, and this one was very cheap, so it was worth checking out. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.